So let's talk more about why we should focus our time and attention on increasing our communication skills and improving the way we speak. Is it something that's that important? Is it really that relevant? So, as we talked about before, there's generally two images people see when they look at you. There's your visual image, which is how you look like, your appearance, and then there's your vocal image. So, why is the vocal image that important? Is it that big of a deal if I don't speak that well? If I'm not a fantastic, phenomenal speaker? Well, let's think. When it comes to people we admire, successful people, there are many characteristics of success. Someone can be wealthy, that's one aspect of success in the amount of wealth they have. It could be their physical fitness, they might be really fit or they might be dressed really well. That's one successful in the outer appearance. And the way we speak is also very important. It's a measure of how well we can communicate. And there's lots of times where we want to be able to communicate better. So if I want to convince you of something, then by improving the way I speak, that will help a lot when it comes to trying to convey my point across. So I'm trying to, let's say I'm at work and I work in a sales job. I think for sure we can agree that someone who does sales, they definitely need to speak better, and someone who speaks better and can communicate more effectively will do significantly better than someone who can't. But that's in a sales job. What if I'm not in a sales job? But I think you are. You see, everyone at some point in their lives might be trying to sell themselves or sell an idea or sell a point. So whenever I'm trying to convince someone of something, I'm selling an idea. I'm trying to convince my friend to join the gym. I'm selling him the idea that going to the gym is great, it's good for your health, it will, improve your fitness, it will increase the amount of muscle you have, it will help with stress levels, and overall you'll really enjoy it. So I'm trying to sell this point to that person. And if I can communicate better at that point, and I can effectively communicate the importance of going to the gym, then I'll be able to sell my point across. What else? I mean, when it comes to a job interview, are you not trying to sell yourself to someone? And the vast majority of us have been or would be in a job interview situation where we're trying to sell ourselves as a person to the interviewer to say we're the best person for the job. So by speaking more effectively, we can articulate our points of why I'm the best person for the job. Look at my qualifications, look at my experience, what I've done, what I've achieved. I'm selling myself when I'm trying to convince the interviewer why they should hire me. What else? When it comes to anything else, when it comes to presenting an idea, I may be doing a presentation to present this idea, why people should follow this idea, or why they should buy my product, or why they should join this project I'm undertaking. I'm selling this idea. And if you ever listen to a TED talk, the person, what they're doing is they're trying to maybe convince someone of this idea or why they should follow a particular program or pay attention to this particular idea which they may have discussed or presented. And you'll see the top TED videos, the ones that have tens of millions of views, that are great public speakers. They can communicate really well. And so you may not be communicating on a public level with an audience and a theatre with hundreds and thousands of people, but you are communicating on a daily basis to your friends, to your colleagues, to strangers, to family. And so by enhancing your communication skills, that will greatly enhance your relationship, be it when it comes to a work relationship in terms of I'm trying to improve the way I work or the way I sell something, or even when it comes to family, because you're going to try to maybe convince your family of something. Hey, I think I'd really love it for you to help me in this, or I'd really love you to join this because of so and so idea. So there'll always be times where you're trying to convince someone or to try to show someone that this is something really interesting and you should really maybe take part or join. If I want to recommend a book, I'm not trying to sell them anything. I'm not saying you must have to read this book. I'm saying this is a great book I've read. I've read this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And if I'm not convincing the person very well, if I'm not communicating well, I'm just saying, oh, here's a book I read, yeah, I think it's really good, and I learned quite a few ideas, and da da da, and I'm not really convincing the person. But if I'm saying, I read this book, it was a phenomenal book that transformed my life. No joke, no exaggeration. The lessons I've learned when it comes to how to speak with others, mentioning their name, not interrupting, talking about what other people are passionate about. I've used it in my life, and that's helped considerably. So now, just by improving a few points in the way I speak, I'm able to convince someone to read this book. And it's not a big deal, it's one book. But in life, there's many times where we might be trying to push an idea or to convince someone try to join something, be it for their own fitness, for their own relationship, something that might be good for you, something which you've benefited from and you want to share to others. As I'm trying to do with you, if I'm saying I'm trying to convince you to improve your communication skills, and so as a conclusion, I myself need to ensure that I'm maximizing the way I speak in terms of the effectiveness of how I speak and conduct myself to convince you. Because if I'm just saying, yeah, you should, work on your communication skills, and yeah, it'll help a lot, and it's important, and it'll help in your job and other stuff, I'm not. Is that really effective in terms of trying to convince you? Compared to if I say it will really change your life, it's useful in all sorts of situations, be it when it comes to work or personal life or family or friends, and it will help you sell ideas, it will help you convince others, it will make you a better listener, better communicator. All aspects of your life it will help with in terms of your communication, because you're communicating on a daily basis. So that's a better version or better way of saying it. So I hope I've articulated some good reasons why you should focus on enhancing your communication. And please put some comments below. Tell me what reasons you think personally, which I haven't mentioned, you should focus on in terms of why you should increase your communications. Perhaps you've worked on trying to increase your communication and speaking skills and you've benefited in a particular way, so let me know.